What are they going to do about Kyrie? What are they going to do about LeBron next summer and any other issue that comes up? The old GM on the jump, lauding that dude's honesty.
This is a guy who handled this situation exactly like he was supposed to. He went to Dan Gilbert privately, told him that he thought he would be happier somewhere else. The absolute worst thing this guy could have done was pretend to be all in and sink the ship from within. Most guys don't have the courage to do what he did, so that's not youth and ignorance. That's a little bit more courage than people give him credit for. This is the guy who recruited LeBron, Hayward, and a host of other free agents when he decided to sign and stay in Cleveland. And all of a sudden, LeBron came back.
Right.
So he was sold a totally different situation than he's actually in, and he worked very well in. He won a championship in, and I see this as him looking for a fit for himself now to take the next step in his career.
Pretty conciliatory comments there. Our Dave McMenamin shared the set today on The Jump with the former GM, and he joins us tonight on SportsCenter. Obviously, we know a lot can change in a month's time for any NBA team, especially the one you cover. What is Griffin's view, from talking to him, of the current situation with the Cavs?
Well, Zubin, obviously there is a crossroads for the Cavs organization. They have to make a decision whether they're going to take the request from Kyrie Irving and actually act on it. And it seems to be that will be the final end to this story. They need to find a deal that makes sense, of course, but I think very interesting of David Griffin to, credit Kyrie Irving for the route he took. He went behind closed doors. He told Cavs ownership his intention to be traded, and he's been quiet ever since. We haven't heard a word from Kyrie Irving. He's allowing the Cavs now to act on his request. And, in Griffin's eyes, we will indeed see Kyrie Irving in a different uniform in the 2017-2018 season.
Okay, just a matter of when that happens. You said they want an end to this story, a deal that makes sense, your words. Since Kyrie has been quiet, what's the latest, at least you're hearing, on the trade talks?
Well, for it to make sense, the Cavs have to get back requisite trade value for a guy who's 25 years old, who's a multi-time All-Star, who had the biggest shot in NBA Finals history, some would argue, and who's on a very economical deal. Those are a lot of holes that you had to find pegs for. And there are some teams out there with the type of assets that you could look to and say, you know what, I could see a package with the Phoenix Suns involving Eric Bledsoe and perhaps Josh Jackson in a future pick making sense. I could see a package from the Boston Celtics, even though it would be very rare to see two teams who competed in the Eastern Conference Finals come to terms on a deal. Well, the Celtics have all those draft picks. They also have young assets like a Jaylen Brown, like perhaps even Isaiah Thomas. They don't want to extend him to the max down the line. So those are the type of deals the Cavs are after. They will not trade him just for the sake of trading him. They feel like there is an opportunity to get better, not only in the short term, but in the long term, if they do indeed part ways and honor that request from Kyrie.
All of this will have to be solved by a 34-year-old guy. I know what you're thinking. It's not somebody on the end of the Cavs bench. That is a usual age for a guy on the end of the Cavs bench. Instead, it's their new general manager, Kobe Altman. That's our Dave McMenamin, realizing when you cover this team, there is no offseason. Dave, thanks.